you were the one who brought up CapFriendly. Are you surprised that the reaction since the purchase has become public of people saying that you're stealing something from them?
Um, I mean, I knew that it had high usage, but my expectation is that the natural order of things in the league is there'll be another cap
Sure.
friendly. Cap friendly replaced, what was it before that? The nerd, cap nerd, I think it was. And you know, we bought the company for the technology. You know, one person is coming over. My expectation is that the league and NHL.com really should take a cue from the fan desire for that information and say that is a league responsibility, right? The league wants to generate lots of clicks, lots of inventory that it can monetize, that can be shared over the 30 teams. So I don't have any concerns that the fans won't have access to that information. You know, for us, the league would not allow us to take that information of what we have and make
Right.
it public. So I mean, there
Right.
wasn't a choice that we could make. And we weren't alone in our interest in looking at acquiring the company. There were several other teams that were looking and would have done the same, had to do the same treatment of bringing it in-house, if you will. But for us, you know, we've always been first in technology. I wanted us to be a culture and a team that was built around innovation. You know, I was first team to give all of the players laptop computers and email addresses, and first team to have the high-speed cameras, and first team to really focus on being able to train via the iPad. We made big investments in analytics. As you know, our general manager, president, was a player, but he was a day trader. He was a financial trader and really understood how to apply and use data. And I'm not allowed to talk about all the things that we do and invest with him. You know, those are the things that are under lock and key. But we really believe that you can use technology for competitive advantage. And, you know, in a hard cap system, you need to find 100 little things that will give you advantage. And, you know, we only have won one cup. I understand that that is a legitimate criticism aimed against us, but we've had one of the best records in the NHL over the last 20 years, where we make the playoffs 15 of the last 17 years. And so what we were doing is working. So we want to do more of it. And we want to do that same thing in the NBA and the WNBA as well. You wanted to talk about the business side. You know, the WNBA, women's sports, is having its moment. I would expect women's sports, women's hockey, the league that Guggenheim is driving, I think that that is going to become very, very important as well. I went on record about a month ago saying Washington, D.C. should be pro sports for women central, if you will. Title IX, which was a big breakthrough, was a policy that was implemented and pushed here in Washington, D.C. It was in the early 70s. We're seeing that now. We're seeing the competitive nature of women's soccer and women's hockey and women's basketball being world class. So much so that the media now is covering it and respecting it. And the fans are doing the same. You know, we had ESPN covering the NCAA women's tournament, and the most watched basketball game ever on ESPN, more than NBA, more than men's NCAA, was Caitlin Clark's game against in the semifinals. I think it was 14, 15 million people watched it, right? So those are really healthy growth signs. We played back-to-back games last week at Capital One Arena for the Mystics, back-to-back against Chicago and then against Indiana. And I think we had 12,000 sold seats against Chicago and 21,000 sold seats against. So, it's arrived, if you will.